What's going on? Welcome to Out of Pocket episode 6. Took a long little hiatus. Coronavirus had some other plans for the podcast. Nevertheless, we're back. We're better than ever. I'm excited to get it going again. It's been way too long. I think our last episode was probably a week before
March or February.
About a week before the NBA stopped. So it feels good to be back, and what a perfect time to come back. We stopped right with the NBA, and we're coming back basically at the same time. This is your boy Darren Wallace, Naiwan Allen, Chris Wynn with me, Kunal Kaushal. He'll be with us.
He's in spirit right now.
He's here in spirit.
He got the headgear, glasses on. This is a Kunal fit.
That's a Kunal fit.
It's a Kunal fit. So,
but he'll be with us in the future. He didn't go anywhere. He's traveling right now, so we wish him safe travels. But speaking of the NBA, fellas, it's almost that time.
Yep.
The NBA bubble in Orlando is here. The scrimmages have been going on. The scrimmages started yesterday. It opened up with the Nuggets and the Wizards. Yep. And also, who else is playing? I want to say the Clippers and the Magic. Those are the first two games. And Bol.
Wow.
Bol shooting threes, getting the rebound, leading the break, popping threes. It's like four.
There's a lot of hype around him right now.
He got drug tested. He got drug tested after the game.
Immediately after
the game.
16 and 5, right?
He had 16, 10, 4 blocks, like 4 or 5 assists. Like he was hooping.
He was.
The craziest part was that lineup that they ran. That was crazy.
That was OD. I like it though.
Was that the tallest lineup in NBA history? It had to be close. Those guys are all near 7 feet. Besides Paul Millsap,
the shortest guy,
6'8", right?
The shortest guy I think was Paul Millsap, and he's 6'7". And Jeremy Grant is like 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, he's like a sneaky. He was the
6'9". guard. Yeah, because his brother's a point guard, but he's like a 6'3".
He was like 6, yeah.
But Jeremy Grant is like 6'9".
Yeah.
But was the guard of the lineup.
Yeah.
He had Jokic at point guard.
One.
Yeah, Jokic at point guard. He had 8 turnovers though.
I mean, he threw the ball right at Ish Smith's head. I don't know if
he was pissed at that. I'm like, yo, how was that someone else's fault? That was you, bro. Like,
yeah.
I like it. I like that lineup a lot, and it's funny. Like, imagine that lineup against the Rockets with PJ Tucker at center.
Yeah.
Oh, they 6'6". But it's interesting. I mean, the Rockets beat the Lakers, and they got a lot of they had JaVale McGee, Anthony Davis, LeBron, Dwight Howard, and the Rockets still won that game. So I think it'll be interesting how it plays out. I like the Nuggets lineup. I like the Jokic losing weight. But while with the NBA coming back with the bubble, before we get into anything prediction wise and into any kind of thoughts, who are you? What are you guys' thoughts on the big teams, and do you guys think that this is something that's going to last? Because even though the NBA is coming back, the bubble it seems to be going well. I think their first set of, I think they said 346 or 347 players all tested negative.
Negative, yeah.
But that's only the first test, and this is it's going to last for at least 2-3 months, 4 months. Do you see this lasting beyond September?
As in COVID related, you're saying?
Yeah. Do you think it can outlast COVID?
Yeah, because I think it can, because of just simple metrics of the bubble. So if no one's going in the bubble with COVID, and even if they are, if the players are masked up, the odds are completely slim, unless it was transmission indoors for a course of period of time. But if it was the guy that got suspended on the Rashawn Holmes, right? Say if the driver had COVID, they had an interaction outside the hotel with him giving the thing. Even if the driver had COVID, the odds of Rashawn Holmes getting it with a mask on and then passing it to other players are very slim. So if you're just canceling out every small factor of COVID, and I think if you keep the bubble the way it is, as long as no IG thoughts sneak their way in past curfew and the doorman looks the other way. So, or you know what I mean? You never know. You got JR in there, Dion Waiters in one hotel. You don't know what they're doing at night. So
exactly.
But the bubble should work. I'm more worried about the MLB, honestly, with everyone traveling, like Juan Soto and stuff today, which was interesting to see. So I don't know. I think it could work. The bubble. It's a good idea.
I think it's gonna work. It's just based off like discipline. You know what I mean? Like if they leave or not. Because like if they sneak out and do wrong, like obviously they're gonna bring or have chances of bringing the virus back into the bubble. But if they're just like playing it smart and actually just playing and then staying in the bubble, staying safe. Because some people have their families there, right?
Well, no,
not yet. Family
playoffs.
they can come to the playoffs. Yeah, because
that's risky. I think that's risky overall. You know what I mean?
Because for the end of the regular season, it's just those 8 teams, no families or anything. But since if you make the playoffs, you'll be there for at least another 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. So how many games is it until the playoffs? 8, you said?
It's 8 games, yeah. So it's all these scrimmages. I think it's like
I think August 20th. Or was it August 10th or the 20th? Was the
July? Oh no, the playoffs start like August 10th.
10th. They're doing like
so the seeding is like
games.
So they're just basically finishing up the season. The seeding is like the same as it was, but then these games low key decided as well.
Isn't there a weird loophole in the seeding because if the 8th and 9th are 4 games apart, they play a best 2 out of 3 games series where the 8th seed only has to beat the 19th once, and the 19th
kind of like
the
that.
8th seed twice. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Like that.
It's very. I'm not sure if I'm like 100% correct.
Yeah, no, they have some tiebreak rules. I gotta.
And they gave Zion, of course, the easiest schedule if you saw out of the last 5 teams.
The NBA is doing whatever they can to keep Zion playing, and it's interesting. I was watching Colin today.
Zion versus Lakers. Come on.
That's must see. It's must see too.
Yeah.
But I was watching Colin today, and he was saying how Zion is like already charismatic, already this big personality. And if you really think about it, like I wouldn't really consider he's more of just a spectacle. Like it's not necessarily like he himself has personality and he jumps out at you. It's just like he's just such a freak of nature that you want to watch him. But he himself, like my dad was saying, he's kind of just like the bashful fat kid, just like
he's like Donkey Wilkins.
I'm just happy to play around the great athletes and blah blah blah. Like that's really what it is. He's not like this, unbelievable personality, and he's charismatic, and he's not like a Magic Johnson or LeBron or like a Derek Jeter or something. Like he's just kind of a shy kid.
Yeah, but I think that's a big point. He's a kid.
Yeah, he's only like is he 19? Yeah,
19.
So, but the NBA they're doing whatever they can to sneak Zion into the playoffs. But even with that being said, I like the Grizzlies a lot. I think for as much as everyone loves Zion and the Pelicans, and I'm not a hater. I root for talent, and I would obviously want to see the Pelicans and Lakers, but I think Ja's nice, and I think he's been leading that team all year. He really started to come into his own before the NBA stopped. Mm-hmm. So I think right now, if you were to ask me, I'd say they're probably honestly the favorites to make the 8th seed is probably New Orleans because of their strength of schedule and of Zion. But if you ask me, I would say the Grizzlies are in the 8th seed and they're in the 8th spot.
They're up 3.5 games.
I wouldn't be surprised if they stayed. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they already got to
drop like almost 4 games.
Yeah, they got to drop 4 out of 8 games.
8,
I mean, could they go 4-4? Obviously, they could. But I'd say it's much more likely that they can stay in the 8th seed. Yeah, that they hold on to the 8th seed than conceding it to the Pelicans, who would have to win 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, they gotta win at least 6 out of 8.
Or not even at least 6. Yeah, they'd have to win 6 or win all 8 games.
Yeah.
But I agree. But so we hit on the playoffs a little bit. Who are your guys' predictions? Who are your dark horses? And also, who's your guys' MVP? Because I'm hearing a lot. There's a lot of mixed opinions on Twitter and in the media. So who are you guys' MVPs, and what are your guys' predictions for the playoffs?
Let's hear it.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I think the Lakers are taking it, of course. I don't know. I just think that Bron was so dedicated before all of this happened, and then like now he got that rest, and people are saying, "Oh, he's old. Like maybe he won't be able to make that run in the playoffs." I mean, he had time off last year, and then he had that little break in between. Everyone else did as well, but Bron's a different kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like an AD. Like who they bring in too? They just brought in Who they just bring in?
JR.
JR got JR
because they lost
he's a
Bradley.
great shooter, of course. Yeah, they lost Bradley. But I don't know. I think the Lakers are just gonna. I think they're winning it all this year. I don't really see an upset happening. I don't have faith in the Clippers really. They impressed me during the regular season, but I just have faith. I don't know what it is. MVP wise, that's hard. I don't really. What do you guys think? I don't know about MVP really.
Well, what's your this? You got the floor. You got the floor.
Floor wise, I'm gonna go with Giannis for MVP.
Giannis, okay,
Wow.
okay.
I don't know. He's dominating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't. It's not a.
And it's also hard to like. I know it seems like it was short, but it was a long time ago since we've seen NBA basketball.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's like recency bias.
Exactly.
So if they gave out the awards in March when the season ended, everyone would have said LeBron, because didn't LeBron beat, who did he beat? The Bucks and the Clippers the last 2 out of 3 games, and put on almost near triple doubles during those games. So recency bias would tell you LeBron. My heart is telling me LeBron, but my head's telling me Giannis. Kind of one of those gigs. Like, I want to see LeBron get that 5th MVP. I think he has the resume for the season and the story to get the MVP, because it's always been, what have they always said? Oh, well, LeBron was in the East, but as soon as Giannis went to the East, now the East is good, right? It's because, you know, everyone's against LeBron from that aspect, but body of work, both guys, probably, you have a case for both guys, but like I said, my head's telling me Giannis. I think if he wins Defensive Player of the Year, that could be a stretch too. If he gets MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, which they're saying is a big possibility. I think that could go to AD. Honestly, I think it could go LeBron, AD, 1-2. But like I said, I think Giannis. I think the NBA just gives it to Giannis. Honestly, I think he 2-peats, and we go into the playoffs from there with a different LeBron. When are they announcing the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, etc.? Did they give it before?
I don't know, because like normally they, you know, like before they started doing the award show, like 3 months after the season.
That was the best when they did that.
They would do it like in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, that was great. That was the best part. I remember David Stern always giving the players that was like an amazing feat for the players and for the crowd. Like, everyone, I don't know why they stopped. They turned it into a joke with Drake and Travis Scott performing.
Yeah,
like,
come on.
It was,
and they scheduled it like 3 months after the year ended. So by the time they gave out the awards, everybody forgot about.
Yes, because it's all Darren. It's all a money grab at the end of the day. The NBA realized, we can make X amount of $1 million on a stupid award show that no one's gonna watch. Well, all right, we'll put it out regardless. I don't know. It's annoying. And for me, at least, they should have just kept it. We went from Katie giving one of the best speeches of all time to, like, I don't know. I don't know who even hosted. Chuck.
I don't even go to it. Right?
Yeah, that would even, like.
Don't do Chuck dirty like that, bro.
You got to watch on TNT. Did you see how they have it with the plastic things? It was like stupid.
Yeah.
But they're in the same indoor thing, so I don't get it. What the plastic things do, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the aerosol is still in the air if you're indoors. So what does this do? You know what I mean? Like, I could talk to you and it could still float and get like.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Just for show at that point.
Yeah, just for show. Yeah, just so Fauci's happy or whoever.
Dr. Fauci. Do you see his first pitch, by the way?
I don't even want to talk about that.
Horrible.
That's right next to 50 Cent's pitch. I would say.
No, I would say
it's a good second.
I think 50 did that on purpose, though.
No way.
He was dropping an album during the time.
Oh, he was?
Doing it for publicity, yeah. You never know with him. He's all about the money.
He threw that. I've never seen. That was absurd when he did that. 50.
That was horrible. That was actually horrible.
That was insane.
Lil Wayne's was bad.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
No, Lil Wayne's was pretty.
They didn't have fathers growing up, bro. They don't know how to play baseball.
John Wall.
Jesus.
John
Walls is not fact.
Oh no, it's facts. John Walls is terrible. He like just threw his straight into the ground.
OBJ threw a heater when he went.
He threw it like 90.
Yeah, dude. That guy
OBJ was definitely crazy.
Off the mound too. But
Fauci takes the cake though.
Who's your NBA champion win?
Honestly, I have no idea, because so much has changed with COVID, with the bubble. You don't know. You don't.
That's a cop-out answer.
No, it's not. It's not, because let me explain why it's not a cop-out answer. Because it's like the MLB season. Since there's 60 games, there's teams that are gonna come out in 60 games like they usually do in 60 games. But for the 120, they would have sat home and did nothing. How many times have we watched the Mets go 20-5 in the first 25 games and then stink up the rest of July, August, and September? So I'm thinking about it like from that standpoint for the NBA, because there's so many different factors that are leading up to the NBA, like the bubble, like COVID, like what if, I don't know, it's like someone can't get good sleep at night because they're used to a Tempur-Pedic pillow and they have a cotton one. I'm thinking about everything at this point. So I have no idea. You can ask this question to me a week into the season. You could see who's got fresh legs, who's healthy. That's what I would say. That would be my answer.
That's not good enough. I want an answer.
All right. If I had to give you an answer, I'll go with the easy one out. Maybe probably the Clippers, because Giannis hasn't proved himself in the playoffs. The Lakers, it would seem too good to be true for the Lakers to win. It really would. It's sad because I really do want to see it, but the Clippers are tough to beat, man. They're going to be tough to beat. I think PG needed that break. I think he's a lot healthier.
He looked good yesterday.
His shoulder was hurting in February and March. So players that were injured that are now healthy, you know what I mean? Things changed now. So who knows? Who knows who's in shape? Who knows whose cardio is good? It's so hard to tell.
Some people probably, like, I hate to be the guy to say this, but some guys probably slacked in the quarantine. You know what I mean?
Sure. For sure. They're collecting a paycheck and just saying, we're never going to play again, probably.
Exactly. They don't know if they're going to come back. And then next thing you know, we're coming back this day. They're like trying to catch up. But there's been guys who've been doing it the whole quarantine, grinding the whole quarantine.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm going with the Lakers, because LeBron, those vets. I mean, the Clippers have those vets too, but like LeBron's a different animal.
Yeah, for sure.
He was grinding all with his fucking gray ass beard. He needs to shave that, to be honest. But
he does need a shave.
Definitely.
Get the 4 Clippers.
Well, I think there was more incentive for players to actually stay in shape, only because the next time, if they stay in shape and they play well, they play hard, they earn their money during the bubble, then the players have so much leverage during the next CBA, because, and I think it actually,
if they didn't play, they would have had no leverage.
I think that it helps them to be in shape and to actually be on it, because then at the next CBA they can just be like, look, we went to Orlando, we played where y'all wanted us to play, we did
risked our health,
risked our health, like, you know. So I think they kind of have more incentive. But to piggyback off you, Win, I'm gonna agree with Nye, and I'm gonna pick the Lakers simply because I think the break benefits the Lakers, because they have veterans. They've got, and I mean, they brought in JR, who looked shaky today. He definitely looked like he needs
to get NBA legs.
Yeah, he's got to get his NBA legs back. I think you give him 3-4 games, he'll find his rhythm, because he said on the record, the thing for him now is defense. He doesn't. It's not even about being JR switch. It's about, Avery Bradley's gone, I gotta be the guy on the defensive end. So, if he can commit to that, I think the Lakers are in a great spot. I like the Dion Waiters acquisition when it happened, and I think with more time, and Dion Waiters is a guy that you give him the time, he'll get in shape, he'll work out. He looked good today. I like how he played. He didn't really necessarily look a step slow. I think he kind of fit right in. And then obviously LeBron and Anthony Davis, Danny Green, Kuz. They're gonna rely on Kuz a lot more than I'd like.
Got to be a third guy.
I'm not as high on Kuz as other people are. But I am aware the Clippers are tough. The Clippers are they're no nonsense. They're just, Kawhi is tough, PG's tough. They're both offense and defense, because what they give you on the offensive end, they're gonna give you just as much value in production on the defensive side. But I think, LeBron and AD, if you ask me, they should be 1 and 2 in MVP voting, only because Giannis's team without him, I think the Bucks record in the regular season without him was 11-1. So, and it's not to diminish Giannis. I think Giannis is a great player, obviously, but the Bucks, I think, arguably, if you were to take Giannis off that team, the Bucks are probably still middle of the pack in the East. They're not, obviously not number 1, but Are they still middle of the pack? I think so. I think that it's kind of like the Raptors losing Kawhi. It's not the end of the world. They'll still be a good team. They're still well coached.
They're playing great right
Boldenheiser has them still, functioning well. So, but at the end of the day, not Nurse. I'm talking about the Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But with all that being said, I got the Lakers winning the championship. A sleeper team that I like a lot
to win it all.
Yeah, a sleeper, like not
like the Rockets.
Not like a favorite or something like that, but just somebody that I think could really sneak up on people. Is ironically, I think is the Raptors, because they play such great team basketball. And honestly, it's a combination, or it's kind of like 50-50 between the Raptors and the Sixers, actually.
No.
And yes, no, don't.
I don't want to hear Eddie Blast.
I know what you're thinking.
Not Joel stomach bug Embiid. I can't listen to that.
The Raptors already play great team basketball, so I think even with the break in the NBA season, they can come back and not miss a beat. And I think the Sixers, with time off, that helps them, being able to figure out. I think Ben Simmons needed time to figure out his game. Brett Brown,
they need to play the 4.
He said they put Ben Simmons at the 4, and I think that'll maximize his game, because then it doesn't rely on him being at the perimeter as much. He can kind of be more of a point forward, playing from the high post, as opposed to a point forward bringing the ball up. And also, don't sleep on Ben Simmons as Defensive Player of the Year candidate, because he's top 5 in almost every defensive category. And I know, the Sixers fans, they're kind of annoying, where they like to get up about everything. I mean, they have just the tiniest bit of success, and they're ready to hoist, the Larry O'Brien trophy already. But don't sleep on the Sixers during the bubble, only based on the fact that I like the changes they've made, and I actually like Ben Simmons a lot to possibly win Defensive Player of the Year. But my calls, I'm calling Lakers to win it all. I want LeBron to get his 4th. I also just think that they can pull it out. They were my favorite earlier when we talked about it in the earlier episodes, and I'm not changing that. Even though I acknowledge the Clippers, they're going to be tough. If they meet up in the playoffs, that's going to be a tough matchup. But I got the Lakers winning it all. I got the Raptors and Sixers as kind of dark horse teams. MVP, I think Giannis is going to win the MVP, but I want LeBron to win the MVP. It's kind of one of those deals where I think Giannis will just get it because his stats, and his team record and all that. So, and the MVP, traditionally, it goes to the best player on the best team, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to Giannis, even though I want LeBron to win it. And lastly, that's everything. So,
wait up, Darren, before we move on, I just have to debunk 2 statements you said. All right, number 1, bringing up the Sixers just because I don't like them at all. You're missing when you bring up the Sixers and Toronto, you're missing 2 big points. 1, Sixers have all the pressure in the world because they're expected to make it to the Eastern Finals, and if they don't, they might blow up that whole situation between Embiid, Brett Brown, and Simmons. So there is all the pressure on them. Toronto, too. When did we stop giving championship teams the they're Toronto and they don't have Kawhi, so you know what? But they're still the defending champs. When did that misconception get so thrown out the window? They have. Well, you got to consider that I'm not saying losing Kawhi. Obviously, it's night and day. Yeah. I'm just saying, if you were looking at unbiasedly, you would say, wow, Toronto without Kawhi, they're kind of in the same position as last year. They were floating through the East, but they're missing that one guy you need through the stretch. But they have such a well-rounded team with a great coach, and they have that championship mentality from last year. And lastly, they're playing with house money. Everyone's not expecting Toronto to do anything. Everyone's looking at the Celtics, they're looking at the Sixers, and they're looking at the Bucks. Toronto could sneak around, win a series, get hot. Fred VanVleet starts making shots. Who knows what can happen? So that's the big difference, I think, down the stretch as Kawhi was. Kawhi Leonard.
They also kind of want to prove something, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Without Kawhi, they're nothing. Okay, we'll see.
You think the players weren't disrespected when he left?
Exactly.
Him trying to pull those moves. Oh, well, we need Paul George to go to Toronto. We're going to trade Pascal Siakam. You think players like Pascal Siakam, who's averaging 26 now, isn't offended by stuff like that. Of course they are.
I love Siakam's game.
Oh,
too.
he's tough, man.
He's just real simple.
When they look back at that championship, they're not going to realize how vital he was. He's going to be looked at as like Kawhi might have been looked at as when he won the Spurs piece. He was like, Siakam was the perfect Robin, and now he's the Batman. So it was a smooth transition. I didn't think he was going to average 25, 26 this year. No. His short game, and now that he's a jumper, he's scary out there.
Yeah, low key, he would be in the running, even though he won most improved last year.
He could do it again.
He could win it again.
Yeah,
that's
the scary part. So that's all I have to say. But right. I do agree the Sixers can be looked at. And then last thing, if you're looking at the Rockets schedule, if it stayed the same right now, I said the Rockets were my sleeper team. They have to go through the Nuggets, and then they would have to go through the Clippers and then the Lakers. So I'm just throwing that out there. I know that I said that was my sleeper team, but I looked at that and no one's making it through that gauntlet. Sorry. Yeah, I don't care who you are. So, but let's continue.
Yeah.
So how do you think like no fans affect the players?
I don't think the scrimmages look fine.
I think it's going to help a lot of them.
I think if anything, it'll make the game easier.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be, and even just watching, they didn't seem to be. I mean, half of them don't even recognize the fans anyway.
Yeah.
So they just put some ambient noise in there.
Yeah.
Moving.
And those jumbotron.
Why are you watching it like it's new? Sorry, my dad's watching a replayed basketball game in the background.
That's not a travel.
Yeah.
I'm weak.
But moving on, we're gonna get a little more serious real quick.
The game was already played, Darren?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a Old Rutgers game.
That's amazing.
But just getting on a little bit of a serious topic here. Social climate in America, kind of around the world. And something that I've been wanting to get on the podcast and talk about for a while is basically just racism and how Black and brown people are treated, not just in America, all over the world. You know, people think that, they have a tendency to believe that it's strictly an American issue. It's really not. It's global. Black and brown people aren't treated fairly in a lot of countries, but most prevalently, or most predominantly, or more often here in America, it makes national.
There's more of a discrepancy.
Global, yeah,
in America, it seems.
And anytime, an unarmed Black man or woman is killed, it makes global headlines because it happens in America, and especially when you've got Donald Trump as your president, and everything that he tweets is a household discussion. It just amplifies it even more. I think that what's going on, when you really put it alongside sports in the grand scheme of things, I was kind of saying to myself, and I kind of still feel this way, that even with sports coming back, sports coming back, sports have been around for a lot longer. But, in terms of the NBA and MLB, the core four sports coming back, I kind of I care, but I don't, only because there's so many more serious problems, in the world where, Breonna Taylor, her murderers are still walking free. George Floyd, I don't think is solved. Elijah McClain, the names go on and on and on. But I've been meaning to say this for a while, and I don't mean this to be controversial, but when people say things like the Black Lives Matter movement, I don't want to assign a label to this, because then it feels like it's all for show, and it's for, it's part of some scheme, or it's something that is being staged. This isn't a stage, right? This is just Black people like myself, like Nawan, like so many others, who want, it's just we don't want this to keep happening. It's messed up. Simply put, it's messed up. It's wrong. No one deserves to die. People, read about the news and they hear, oh, another unarmed Black person shot and killed, for whatever reason. And people's first reaction, oh, well, what did he do? You don't have to do anything. There's drug dealers in everyone's neighborhood. They walk free every day. Black, white, Asian, Latino, whatever. They walk free every day. There's murderers that are incarcerated. They're not dead. You know, there's murderers that have served time and are now walking free. There's, you know, burglars, people who've robbed stores, people who've burned buildings, people who've, you know, money laundered, whatever you can think of, that are walking free today. But you can't justify killing people. And then people say, oh, well, they're killing, you know, white people are dying too. So why are white people not mad? Why is not everyone should be upset? This is not, you know, it's not a Black Lives Matter movement. It's human rights. It's humanity movement. Yeah, it's humanity. It's people are tired of dying. I'm tired of watching, you know, I saw yesterday a video of a black father who was buying his son a bike, and he was just testing it out in the store. Everyone tests a bike out in the store when you get it. You know, you want to make sure it works. You don't want to buy something that's broken. And he's testing it out in the store, and, you know, a Walmart employee, they called the police to arrest him. Even though, and while he's in line, he already bought the bike. He has a receipt, and they're arresting him. I didn't get the full story. There can be more. But as far as I'm concerned, I see a black guy in line at a Walmart buying a bike for his son. He doesn't need to go to jail. He didn't die, but he doesn't need to go to jail. So, you know, what are your guys' thoughts? You know, I've been very passionate about it. You know, I've spoken up, you know, on social media a few times. You know, I've attended protests, and I'll always be vocal about it, only because, you know, it's something that's going to affect me and everyone that looks like me the rest of my lives. But I will say, this time, it does feel like, at the very least, we're going to move in a direction, and it has to get better, or it's just going to get really, really bad to the point where who knows what'll happen. But I feel like this time is so much more different. I think the George Floyd murder was the tipping point. And now what we're seeing all around the world is the result of that situation. But what do you guys think?
Honestly, I think, like, throughout all this, I don't be like the bearer of bad news or have like a negative like outlook on the whole movement. That's why, like, I don't even like saying the movement either. And a lot of people question me, like, oh, like, I don't understand the movement. And I respect them asking me that, because it's like, okay, if you don't understand something, ask. Don't just like have your own views on it without actually knowing what it's about. But it's like more than the movement, you know what I mean? It's like not meant only for these cases or these amount of people. It's like meant for your humanity, because when those people bring their children in the world, they don't want to bring their children in the world. I damn sure want to bring my children in the world like set up like this, you know what I mean? And the sad part is, like, people thought it was gonna end. Like, I know quarantine was taking place, and then the riots were taking place, so it's like a bunch of stuff going on. And everyone's like, oh, I wanted to go back to normal. It's like, bro, like, that normal wasn't the right thing. Normal isn't always the right way things were supposed to be, you know what I mean? People were dying way before George Floyd. People were getting arrested when they weren't supposed to be before George Floyd. And that's not only just black people, it's black and white. People just took offense because certain white people took offense because it's so brought down and so like shrunk into Black Lives Matter. We're not saying, oh, we're the only people that matter. We're just saying, okay, like, open your eyes to what's going on in front of you, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm happy that I have friends who are able to see that and try to help with it. But going back to what I was going to say originally, it's going to take more than a month of posting on social media, a month of doing your own research. Like, black people have been living this way their whole lives, you know what I mean? Like, I've been looked at in racist ways, Darren's been looked at in racist ways. I have people who aren't even black, like Jewish people, like anyone, Spanish people who have been treated wrong just because of what they believe in or the color of their skin, you know what I mean? And we're not as lucky as other people to have a life where it's like, okay, this is set out for you, this is set out for you. Your parents are going to do this for you, your parents are going to do for this. It's a struggle, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say, oh, I grew up with the biggest struggle, but it's like, open your eyes. People are prejudiced to certain people, you know what I mean? And I just think it's going to take a lot more, and it's not just an American problem, it's a humanity problem overall. And like, I'm not trying to sound like negative on it, but I just think that it's so like the system goes back so far that it's gonna take long after.
Oh, it's so deep rooted. It's been so like
you know what I mean. Our grandkids are gonna be gone, and the sad part is you're still gonna see it. The best thing we could do is inform those we know, and not just inform of like, oh, like this is why it's happening. Inform them so they make a change in their own households, because no one knows what you do behind closed doors. Like, you know what I mean? For all I know, Darren could be racist. I'm not saying he is. I could be racist. All you guys know, this could be all opposed. But like, people do it for performative action, other than actually doing it because they actually care. And you have to change people's mindsets, and that's the only thing. Like, I don't care if you can support Trump all you want, but I don't support him because I think he's a racist. I think he doesn't handle things properly. You could say he does this for the economy. Are you blind? Are you not seeing what he's saying about black people? Are you not seeing what he's saying about Chinese people? Like, just open your eyes. It's not political. This is not a political problem. Politics are a little part of it, but it's not a political problem. You know what I mean? It's just people want to see people see what they want to see. They close their eyes and they turn their shoulder, or they make an excuse when they're challenged. You know what I mean? And I just think it's going to take a lot of work. And the best thing we could do is just keep changing like the people we know who aren't agreeing with how people should be treated. You know what I mean? And it's just, I can't even sum into words all the things that are on my mind. That's why I'm going from this.
Oh, yeah.
It's just hard to summarize it into one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this isn't just, I mean, I'm sure this isn't a one-time topic. This stuff it goes on every day. So. And
a lot of people avoid just talking about it when it's just like, you don't avoid that, you know what I mean?
You can't avoid it.
If it's your health, like think about it, if it's your health, you're going to go talk to your doctor to make it better, right? It's your health. Like, you're going to go do that. But at this point, when it's someone else's life or someone else's family or someone else's, family, anything, then it's just like, oh, let's just not talk about it. It's going to go away. No, you don't avoid stuff and think it's going to go away. You do something to change it. Right. And that's why people have to take that mindset in order for things to get better. And people could say that, oh, they don't really want to get involved in it. If you don't get involved in it, nothing's going to come of it. Don't you want your friends, the people closest to you to feel like equal as you? No. Yeah, correct. Like, I don't know. I just think the world we're in a messed up place right now, and it's hard to be proud to be an American. I love America, great opportunities, but it's just hard.
Because we can't avoid it. You know, wherever we go, we're the black guy here. We're the black guy in Target, exactly. The black guy in the gym, the black guy, at the restaurant, the black guy in the bar. So.
And for the people who will watch this and think that and for the people who think or are gonna watch this and think that oh, you guys are just playing no, there's no one playing the cards. Just that's how it is. You may not think that way. Just because you don't think that way doesn't mean that's not how the person next to you thinks. And I know for a fact, people think that way. You know what I mean? From experience, from hearing stories. And the stories aren't made up. They're happening in front of you. They're happening amongst your campus. They're happening in your neighborhood. They're happening with people close to you and you don't even know it, or people are blind to it because they've never seen it before. That's why people have to open their eyes and do their research and talk to people you know who have been through it. And then I think we can take a step forward as the human race, because it's just a whole overall humanity problem. It's not just America. It's not just a black problem. It's not just a Chinese problem. It's everyone overall.
I can't speak from the same boat as you guys, and
100%.
You know what I mean? Just based off color of skin, I've been treated differently, looked at differently, and you know what I mean? It's just the facts of the matter because of skin tone, and that's just the way America has been because of people's prejudices and beliefs and the history. So getting into this topic, real change will come once everyone is ready to have a real discussion and a real debate and make change in their neighborhood, even if their neighborhood isn't affected with problems, you know what I mean? Such as racial crimes, unracial crimes, police brutality. So it has to happen in your neighborhood for it to happen in others too, you know what I mean? It can't just be back and forth. But I keep going into other topics. Cops need to be trained more, obviously. I read a few things. They don't have enough. They go into Darren. Guess how much out of a whole year? Guess how much combative training they do a year? In a year. Guess. Just give me a guess.
In a year? I'm pretty sure it's
combative.
3 months.
3 hours out of the year.
3 hours?
They do combative training. So how are you going to tell someone who has a gun that they only have 3 hours of combative training? They need to work on multiple things, such as de-escalations of the system, de-escalation things happen, like in the George Floyd case. How could 4 officers look there and be, this isn't a problem? How didn't that register through any of the officers' mind? If they were in situations where, hey, like when they had proper training and they had de-escalation training, they could look at the situation. 2 cops could say, all right, he's been on his neck for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let me take him off. Let's stop the situation, instead of just standing there and doing nothing. So that's one thing with that. And then obviously racial inequality in the judicial system is absurd, because how can you say during COVID-19 marijuana was an essential business, yet there's thousands of African Americans locked up for 10 grams of a weed? You know what I mean? How can you say it's an essential business when there was nothing open, yet there's people still walked up for having weed on them in a car? You know what I mean? So there's issues in the judicial system, there's issues with the cop system, and there's issues with people who don't want to speak up and talk about topics until there's real discussion, real change in the judicial system, in cops training. We need to keep talking about these issues, or you know what I mean? They can't just be swept under the rug. It just can't be, oh, another guy died because, oh, he was selling $20, so maybe he deserves that. No, there was no reason for the situation to get like that, regardless of prejudice of the guy. The cops are there to serve and protect the community, and that day they didn't serve and protect. They killed a man in cold blood, and he deserves to go to jail and spend the rest of his life, or the majority of his life, in jail until he realizes, all right, well, this is unacceptable, and we have to move the culture forward. That's kind of my 2 cents on the cop stuff. I hope that covered a good amount.
Going back to what Wayne said, people, like what I've been seeing a lot too is, oh, George Floyd was not a good guy. Trust me, I've done my research too. When I heard about the case, I know about him. I don't know if you guys know this, but he's been in jail for like 4 times. He put a gun into a pregnant woman's stomach. He belonged in jail. Like, if he's gonna act up, he belongs in jail. No one's saying, oh, free him, like he deserves to be free. No.
You don't deserve to lose your life, though.
Exactly. You don't deserve to lose your life while you're getting arrested.
Yeah.
He would have got arrested. If they would have held him down and got arrested, there would be no one would be acting up about it. Okay, he did wrong. He has numerous times been in jail. Yes, take him to jail. Yeah. And obviously something's wrong with the jail system, because it's not changing anything if he's being in and out. But that's another topic. Mm-hmm. But anyway, no one deserves to lose their life just because they've been in jail numerous times. You know what I mean? That's not saying that's the death penalty, basically. Like, they're getting the death penalty on the street opposed to getting another. I don't agree with the death penalty at all, but I'm saying they're getting the death penalty before they even got served like a sentence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
So it's kind of like, where's his chance? Like, I know he's got numerous chances, but if he keeps messing it up, just put him in jail. Leave him in jail.
That's why we can't
kill him. If it was a white person and they were messing up too, put them in jail too.
Yeah. No one's saying that black people are the only ones that need to be sent to jail, but kill white people. Yeah. It's, if somebody does wrong, it's what we have corrections for. It's what we have the criminal justice system for. It's to put people that don't follow the law, that do illegal or wrong things, or they hurt people, they rob people, they kill people. You incarcerate them. It's not just spending a counterfeit $20 bill should not be a death sentence for anyone of any color.
And the Michael Gardner selling bum cigarettes.
Bum cigarette.
You know what I mean?
You don't deserve to die over that.
Yeah.
No way.
There's people sell weed and they put grass in a plastic baggie and give it to an 8th grader. That doesn't mean they deserve to die.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's just horrible to see, you know what I mean? It's saddening, you know what I mean? All this stuff.
Cops just need to stop taking matters into their own hands. Do your job, arrest them, make sure they're safe, because they're in your custody. Make sure they're safe. Like, you know what I mean? I know, like, you want to make sure you're safe as well, but George Floyd's he's not a threat.
Yeah, and why do they have to go for the gun first? If you want it, if you then tase them, you know, the taser will get the job done. You know what I mean? If you want to detain someone. So I don't understand going to the gun first. Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? If they're unarmed, why would you have to use your gun?
Yeah. Exactly. But there was so much just wrong with it.
And I'm tired of the, naming a street Black Lives Matter and putting come on, like, no one wants that. No one wants a documentary on Breonna Taylor. Just arrest the people that killed her.
Who said that quote that is like, we have streets named after Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X Boulevard? How many streets are those? And still look.
Yeah, and look what you have, like, painting Black Lives Matter. Like, okay, it's cool, awesome, but what's it gonna change? Like we want real change.
Yeah.
But we can, and this isn't the last time we'll touch on that. But just to keep the conversation going. And as always, I appreciate y'all for talking about that. But let's get back to some more, I guess, more out of pocket, regularly scheduled programming. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. So recently, the news broke.
City Boys down 30 right now.
The news
100.
broke. The news broke that Miss Jada Pinkett Smith was engaged in an entanglement with August Alsina. For those of you who may or may not know, August Alsina is, I'd say, like a C-list. C-.
C minus.
Like 2 bangers.
Yeah,
he was on like Hold You Down, Love This.
Yeah, and I love this.
He's on, so he's like a C, D list.
Yeah. R&B singer,
songwriter, whatever he's not that famous basically, but he's enough of a name to where if you hear it, you're like,
oh yeah,
maybe.
I heard him on that song.
I probably heard of him. He might have been so he's like that famous. But Jada Smith is like, I know who that is. And Will Smith is like, obviously I know who that is.
Obviously.
But I guess at some point in their marriage, Jada and Will decided to take a break, I guess.
I remember when that was going on. It was kind of a break,
And during that break, Jada Pinkett decided to, I guess, so at the time, August Alsina was going through some mental issues and some health issues and whatnot. And I guess her way of coping was to unzip his pants and fornicate with him.
Yeah.
So, and she calls it an entanglement. Now, I'm not gonna say Will was perfect. I'm not gonna say. I mean, people have seen the pictures of him and Margot Robbie and Payne.
They said, you ain't Kobe. They don't got love for you like that. You ain't got no love.
Nah, Will deserves better than that. Will deserves better than that.
He's so much better. Like, he seems like such a nice guy. Like, this could have happened to anyone, I feel like.
That's what I'm saying. So I bring up Will and Jada to ask y'all this. What does it mean? What does it mean for us non-Will Smiths? If Jada Pinkett Smith is entangling with August Alsina, Will Smith is an A-list, arguably one of the best actors of all time.
Has money,
good looking, got money. He's in shape. He's got it all together. He does things for the community. He does things, for people that are misfortunate. He can do it all. He can do it all. He's a good guy. He's a lovable guy. But even Will Smith, I mean, I said this for Beyonce. If Beyonce wasn't good enough for Jay-Z, and Will Smith isn't good enough for Jada Pinkett Smith, then what hope is there? I mean, there's not. Look, what do y'all think? What does this mean for the non-Will Smiths of the world?
They need to find their actual bag. Because obviously, if they're going on a break, like I don't even like that. Like if you're going on a break, just end it.
Yeah, breaks are lame. Like if you're gonna go on a break, just be done. Like be done and either bring it back.
Then like you might do something, or she might do something. And then it's just like, oh, you did that on the break, and then it's like you're not on the break anymore.
Yeah.
It's like back. Like, you know what I mean? If you're
on a break, being on a break is like, oh well, can I? No, either just call it quits.
Yeah,
or make it work. Yeah, like the term break is so lame. Like
the term break is a lob for you to do whatever you want to.
Yeah, basically, it's
like, and then once you do anything you want, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, I want you there when I'm done, but I want to do what I want to for now. And then if I don't find anyone, I'll come back. Like, it's kind of weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a test. It's literally a test. Like, are you going to do what you want? Because if not, whoever, because usually what happens is it goes one of two ways. Somebody wows out and the other person doesn't at all, or one person wows out and the other person might entangle with like maybe one or two people, and the person that wows out is hurt. Like,
Hondo, I've seen
like that's always that's always how it goes. Like, it's pretty.
It's sad for
it's sad.
It's slow for Will Smith, bro. Just that they released that video was horrible for him.
Yeah,
I hear how all these girls are like, oh, like I want to have my own intake. Like, come on, if Will cheated on Jada, they would not be saying that. Like, why would he do that?
They would not be. They would not. They would be. It would be World War III. Oh, exactly. This is why
cancel culture, like
men are the worst. Men are all evil. Men this, men that, men. I hate men. Like, all right,
but,
we get it. Like, patriarchy doesn't exist. Yeah, but like, there's bad women and there's bad men in the world.
Exactly.
So let's stop. Like, I hate that. I might catch heat for it, but I hate the. Oh,
they might cancel Darren.
I might get canceled.
Yeah, Darren cancel culture.
Men are trash. Men are the. Shut up. Like, seriously, stop. Like, there's bad men and bad women in the world. Yeah. Obviously, there's more bad men because of the power that men hold by the design of the patriarchy. And I don't mean air quotes and patriarchy doesn't exist. That's just the word that it is. But like, yeah. But at the same time, no, like, I don't know. I could go on a rant for days. But
let it heat up.
If Will isn't safe. Like, what hope?
He's treated as anybody. We're all anybody.
Yeah. What hope is there for someone like me? I'm not Will Smith. I'm not. I might not ever be Will Smith.
But you got one of the nicest haircuts of 2020 . So
hey, Joe, chill out.
And you got the earrings. They're in the side. Show them for the camera, bro.
I want to get bigger ones though. But that's its own.
But I don't want to say it on camera. You gotta see the Tupac Jada Pinkett Smith story because it is crazy, dude.
Oh, it's pretty wild.
Really? Where'd you watch it?
No, it's just like
an article,
right? Just about the interaction and
like
what happened between them.
I think Willow wrote like a letter to Tupac saying that like, oh, my mommy's misses you, blah blah, like kind of weird.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Tupac and her were like together.
They were like.
She said she wasn't. Did she say she was like with mad guys in the interview, or like an interview on whatever Twitter? You know Twitter. They release everything after something goes by. They had her like she was like saying like early in her life it was impossible for her like not to sleep with guys. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, she was also like addicted to porn or some shit.
Yeah, she was addicted to sex or something. I remember seeing it on one of the talk shows that popped up on Twitter, But the Tupac, I'm not gonna say it on camera, but Google it and you'll understand next out of pocket.
Yeah,
what
definitely.
Why Jada Pinkett is like goated for some people.
I'm gonna do my research.
It's worth the research. It's worth the research. But speaking of research and staying in Hollywood, we gotta talk before our final topic. We gotta hit on some Jeffrey Epstein because he was a sick individual. And I know this is like two wildly different topics. We just went from Will Smith and Jada.
Hopefully the government isn't listening.
I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, because I don't want to get shot in the back.
But like, we can all agree that Hollywood is pretty sick. Like Chrissy Teigen tweets, Pizzagate. I don't know if you guys have ever seen.
Yeah, I've briefly read into that.
Chrissy, she has like all these tweets about little kids doing splits and she should go to jail for what she's done to little kids and weird, like very strange.
The Pizzagate stuff is a crazy
like
theory,
and Pizzagate. No, you watch, if you're listening, if you're watching, if you Google Out of Shadow or YouTube Out of Shadows on the internet, they explain Pizzagate, they explain Hollywood and the island.
Well, someone went into the Pizzagate store and shot it up, right?
That was but there's no basement.
There's no
the main thing behind that was like they're hiding kids in the basement and they go in the store. The guy shot up the store and there's not even a basement in like the place.
But there's like
people are making shit up. But I believe there's some shit.
There's some
I believe some shit. Like I don't really trust the government at all, man.
Me either, bro.
You could be erased at any minute. I'm convinced.
The government is shady. Hollywood is one of the nastiest things to exist. Hollywood's disgusting. Pedophilia in Hollywood is like strange and gross. Like Satanism in Hollywood. Like apparently
it's like an egoistic, narcissistic kind of thing.
In Out of Shadows, like Katy Perry, like apparently she was a gospel singer or she was like
she was that's
something like that. And then once somebody got a hold of her, they convinced her to change her whole image and now she's all satanic in her music videos and stuff. Like,
no, but I don't know about the satanic shit, but
if you look at her videos, like
her being Christian singer, I remember that because I don't want to pull up receipts on myself, but circa 2011, I saw the movie with my sisters. Don't ask me why, and it does explain. I was in Allwood Theater, Clifton, New Jersey, looking like a scrub.
Oh my god!
2 glizzies and a bev.
2 glizzies and a bev. The glizzy gulper, young.
Oh no. Darren, we were so ahead of the glizzy talk too.
Glizzy's been a thing.
I know it's been a thing, and then we like brought it back up, and then it went
came
so
back, mainstream, viral.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like, I remember last year we had like a cookout, and somebody made hot dogs, and I was like, "No, you don't have 2 glizzies in your." I remember like being on the glizzy wave. Like, glizzies is not.
So when I first heard that, I thought they were talking about, you guys were talking about guns.
Yeah, because that's
because it is a
glizzy.
And then I went into it. I was like, no, these guys aren't talking about
the Bear Franks cracked me up. That shit is hilarious.
Eat a Frank. No bun.
Oh no, bro.
But just wanted to touch on Hollywood like for a second, because Hollywood's a disgusting place. But moving into our last topic for
you don't want to get into the Epstein at all?
No. I want to say
that down.
I want to save it. I just wanted to hit it quick, but we gotta kind of get out of here.
Okay.
Plus, I don't know what's up with this time limit. I got a notification about a time limit.
It said unlimited.
It said unlimited.
You upgraded to no time.
Yeah, to no time limit. But I don't know. You never know. I just want to play it safe, but also at the same time not go too long. So to wrap things up here, we're gonna touch on some music. Pop Smoke and JuiceWRLD, they released what's it called? Their
Posthumanist.
Their Posthumanist albums. The deluxe album just released also for Pop. And honestly, I don't know what your guys' thoughts were. I like the deluxe better than the original.
Yeah.
I think the label, they went way more mainstream than I think Pop Smoke would have went to the original album. And I
went
get
with
it.
I
get it, but like they had
which was surprising for me.
Yeah.
Right? They went with no New York Joe beats. You listen to
and then on the deluxe they like added like 5.
Yeah, on the with Fabio.
I know Nia has some strong. I know you got some strong opinions on Pop Smoke's the original.
The Posthumanist album, it was good though. Like, you know what I mean? I couldn't tell you. I mean, Mac was. I mean, the first X album.
The best ones were like Biggie and after they died.
Biggie and Pac. Yeah, you're right. But like the X, I remember the X first album wasn't horrible that release, and then his family tried to milk that out. That's another story. But I'm not an
X guy. I always
actually.
No, I always thought I never understood the hype.
I never like a cult following.
Yeah.
The thing about X's album was he was working on that already, so it was like almost done. Like all those Pop Smoke songs were like all scraps, like not scraps, but like singles that he was just like doing. You know what I mean? He wasn't putting them onto the album because like the next thing that I was supposed to come and watch the interview was supposed to be Meet the Woo 3. It wasn't even supposed to be like a studio album. They were just gonna keep Meet the Woo. You know how like Ray Sherman and them did Sherm Life 1, Sherm Life 2, Sherm Life 3, or Migos did like Culture 1, Culture 2, and then they did their own shit. But that's why it's sad because like everyone said it went mainstream, but at the end of the day, like I hate to say this, but like Pop Smoke's like gone. Like his family, like he was that golden ticket, like for his family, like got him out of there, like putting money in his family's pocket. So like I think what 50 did was like, yo, we got to take it mainstream to get more views, get more money, so his family has something to live off. You know what I mean, he can't just stop here. Like that's why I know it's like mainstream, but like I fucked with it because like it was a different side of him. But like of course me, you know, I want that like hardcore drill, like the first Meet the Woo and shit like that. You know what I mean? I liked it, but I just wanted more like original Pop Smoke. But it's different because like Ray, like he hated. I don't want to say he hated Pop Smoke as a person, but he hated the music. He didn't really like the music. He was like, yo, I don't like how he yells all the time. Then he heard the second album and he's like, you know how he loves Tory, you know how he loves Drake. He's like, yo, like I like this side of Pop Smoke. I'm just like, all right. So you see he can switch it up that easy. Like, so respect his other shit before now. You know what I mean? Like, go back and listen. But it's sad, like, obviously seeing him not even be able to put his own taste on it. Yeah. But I'm happy 50 stepped in a little bit and then, like, put on for him.
Like,
family.
nah, you're right. Like, I doubt who would have. Pop Smoke would have never signed off to a song with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
unless there was a different bag in front of him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I was looking at some of the things, like PNB Rock got on a song. I was just like, they're just letting in anyone. It seemed
exactly.
Like, the odds of him not dropping like a drill crazy songs, like it didn't even like if you told me Pop Smoke was gonna drop 35 songs and not one was gonna be like a hit, I would have been like, you're a liar. You're a liar.
Drunk.
Yeah. So, and like the fact that he had no really, I mean, it's really early to say, but like replay value isn't gonna be nothing of one and two.
That's why they threw Dior on there. If you peep,
yeah,
okay.
Dior is ready, like, meme of so like that pushes the numbers a little bit higher.
Yeah,
but Dior's been on like every single fucking album.
Yeah, this is the third one.
It was like Pop Smoke's label sprinkling Dior at the end of his most minutes album. It's like the Meg Thee Stallion, like little like.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's another thing, Darren. Tory shooting Meg Thee Stallion. That's crazy.
Next episode, I want to see, because I don't know the full details. I'm hearing all these like. One moment
academics broke it down on Twitch.
I heard like Meg got mad that Tory Lanez is flirting with Kylie, so that's why he shot her or something stupid. I just heard a bunch of
King Neptune needs to shut up. Tory Lanez, King Neptune.
It's a bunch of stupid stuff. But JuiceWRLD's album, it was alright too. Like, it wasn't crazy. Like
580 copies, which was insane.
Yeah,
500.
You know, Juice has that cult.
Yeah, he's like,
the
X fans kind of went to Juice. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, Juice had that cult, but I think it got bigger because of X, and like, I don't know.
Well, X kind of opened up that gate. No one was doing like.
Yeah, that emo rap.
Yeah, him and Peep were kind of the first.
Yeah, Trippie Red's been on that emotional.
Yeah, but Trippie Red isn't like nowhere near the X or Juice.
Yeah. Now that they're gone, now that they're both gone, he's kind of like.
Well, it's his lane he could take.
Yeah, it's like his lane now.
Which is kind of fucked that he's like.
Yeah, it's like it's
not
like
resulting.
Sad to say, but like, yeah, it's just like now it's like, well, he's all that's left. Not that Trippie. I mean, not that
Said a few things.
Bad, but he's.
But I think like what Win was saying, like people are like not trying to be fucked up, sound fucked up, but they're like milking, like, you know what I mean, like X's family.
Ex's family was like
the Lambo he was shot in.
Like, at the museum. Yeah, that was horrible.
Have some respect. Like, how do you okay that to go through? Like,
your son,
there's a point where it's money, and it's like, you know what I mean, like. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the X's will was all messed up. Like, his will, like everyone was trying to get a piece of the pie. And that's why they did so many. What did they do? 3 or 4 albums in a year after he died. By the second or third one, no one was like, "Come on, this is insane."
Exactly.
So like, Pop should have this album, and then, I mean, if he's sitting on more music that's halfway decent, maybe drop it in 6 to 8 months, whatever. But don't rush.
Also dropping B-Lone out the ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they dropped. And ASAP Bari. That's another discussion.
Yeah.
Another brand, but like, I don't know. It's sad to watch. You're right though. It's just sad to watch families and money get involved in like kids who die. X JuiceWRLD and
they were all at 21.
All like on 21. Yeah.
They were literally.
Thank God they got the killers though.
Yeah. That's
thank God.
They just shot. The sad part about that is I read they shot him just to shoot him. There was no correlation. They got the Addy and it was just, it's Pop Smoke. Let's make our.
He shot one. He went out like a soldier though.
Oh, he did shoot one.
He shot back. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's
not hilarious, but crazy.
And he said he's never lacking, always pistol packing.
True.
He was.
He did live that life, you know.
He lived that life. He wasn't just.
It's crazy. 50 got shot 9 times.
9 times.
Survived.
Cooling.
But yo, like, I was watching a 50 interview and Stephen Victor, like, Victor Victor Records, who works with Pop or whatever. And 50 was like, yo, like, I told Pop Smoke, like, stop talking about like this stuff in the songs. Like, if you listen to Bad Bitch from Tokyo, the first one, he's like, I looked my killer in the eyes, like, you know that part? Like, and then he died after. Like, how crazy is that? He said the same thing with Biggie. And then 52 is said, get rich or die trying, got shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's Biggie, ready to die.
Yeah, dude, it's insane.
Tupac, the Machiavelli shit, like faking your own death, and now all these little conspiracies and these theories. Just like, stop talk, like, don't put that negative energy in the air, because like that's what happens. You know what I mean?
over
crazy,
what
like,
too? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over nothing.
Nothing.
It's sad, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up, especially with the gang violence. So that's another topic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you got to get out of that shit once you go up at the car to like leave your boys behind. I guess.
That's the weird part. It's like whenever somebody makes it, it's like, do you want to see them get out and stay out? Do you want to see them get back? I just like when people give back, but they don't, fully go back. Like not to say like, oh, how this is how people should live, but like it's, the places these people come from, a majority of like, athletes and the celebrities, it's rough, man.
Yeah.
It's rough. I mean,
the point is to get out.
And how many are
looking
looking
the point is to get out for a reason, like,
yeah.
because you don't want to be there. Like, I mean, look at Shaq. Shaq's from Newark. Like,
yeah.
He got out when he was in high school. He went to Texas. He went to high school in Texas.
And the sad part is, like, once they get out, like, then people start showing them love. Like, they weren't showing them love while they were getting up there. You know what I mean? So like,
and then when they get out, it's all hate. Like think about that. Yeah. No one wanted to kill. No one wanted to shoot up Pop Smoke when he was in New York. But he finally makes it. He gets out, and now everybody wants to kill him.
In Beverly Hills too.
Yeah,
which is crazy. The crazy part about the juice thing was
Juice did it to himself.
No, but I know. I'm listening.
And I love JuiceWRLD, but like
the crazy thing about the JuiceWRLD thing was, all right, they got the plane with all the drugs on the plane, so that's why he took the what do you take, Percocets and Xanax, right? It was something like that.
This is all
yeah. So, but like, even though if he was worried or wanted to flush the drugs out of the system, wouldn't he give it to like one of his mans, or like one of his mans would have took the charges, not JuiceWRLD? He could have just said, hey, this was my man's stuff. Like, that was always like, I was like the breadwinner in the group is JuiceWRLD. You could always give your man a 5-year sentence. I mean, easier said than done. Exactly. But like, all right, I'll reimburse you once you get out of prison, but I'm the breadwinner. You know what I mean? So.
That was like the point of like their soldiers, pretty much. You know what I mean? like take the blame, take the and sometimes even take the bullet.
Gun charges, other stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, that's why they're there. Like, they put you on, they help your family, and it's like, you guys got to protect me somehow. Yeah. It's like, why are you letting him take all those pills?
And how many years would he have gotten? Not like, I wouldn't have said it. Could probably got a good lawyer, maybe 5 years in jail.
I would have took the charge. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not doing all those pills. I would have took the charge.
5 years, 10 years in jail, right? I would say, maybe.
Yeah, with the right lawyers.
I mean, Shmurda's getting out, and he's got so much heat around him, and he's been gone since 2014.
Isn't that wild? With everything that's going on in 2020, and then at the end of it, Bobby Shmurda gets.
They're like, what a season finale.
Yeah, right. Like
2020.
Him and Rowdy Rebel, right? Both of them come out.
Yeah, Rowdy. Yeah, they were about to.
Shmurda's a real one, man. Crazy. That he took this. He could have got out. It was like he could have took 4 and got out, and Rowdy gets 9, and then they did 6 and 6. That's crazy. I don't know if that's real. That. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's how they.
It's crazy that one song incarcerated everyone too.
Yeah.
They incarcerated everyone. If you ever see like the video where they break it down, when he does that verse, and he's just like, in jail, got him in jail, got him in jail. But it was like, oh my god, dude.
That's the point where it's like, stop rapping about what you actually do. Like, you can rap about what you do, like, vaguely, but like to that point, it's like names and like what you did, and then like they look it up, and it's just like, all right, fuck.
It's like giving the feds, like, it's like, here, like, you know,
here's the map.
Yeah. Take the blueprint, just figure out.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's insane.
But that's we're gonna call it for this one, fellas. That was it's been a long time since we've been able to
good one to get back
to shoot it as a group again. So as always, it was a pleasure, fellas. Episode 6, Out of Pocket Podcast. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, whichever one they go by, Spotify. Find us on YouTube. Find us on follow us on Instagram at You're Out of Pocket. Follow me on Instagram at Not Darren. Follow Win at just at Chris Win.
Chris Win, yeah.
And follow Naiwan at Naiwan Allen. You can find all our socials
at RealDarrenWallace.com
in the description of this episode and in our YouTube. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching wherever you are. We appreciate you. Signing off, it's your boy Darren Wallace, Naiwan Allen, Chris Win. We'll catch you guys next time.
Grease.
Peace out.